Yes. The National Child Protection Act and the Volunteers for Children Act. Yes. Nationwide Criminal Records Database. hmm Now, it was interesting, yes, as they gave this example of the Independent Baptist School, yes, hmm that the lawsuit wasn't necessarily that they didn't do the background check, yes, because Susan Bowers was at a Rotary meeting, wasn't she? So, holding Mike's daughter. Mm. Volunteers of Children Act, entity state not passed implementing blah 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 NCPA. Youth serving organizations were not allowed to access FBI databases. The Boys and Girls Club of America, yes. I was obstructed from going to the Boys and Girls Club of America for the last 5 years, yes. Now, given the fact that some states have not responded, oh, wait a second here. Big question, NCPA, yes. Schools under the umbrella of the church may be defined as qualified entities, yes. States implementing legislation, preach. Now, this was an interesting story of Melissa, a 13-year-old freshman boy in the music room. Um, a school shall not be liable in an action for damage solely for failure to conduct a criminal background check. Please note, however, that although a school cannot be sued under the NCPA solely on the grounds that it failed to conduct a check, it doesn't insulate the school from all liability. There's what's known as negligent selection of a volunteer worker. Such a suit, the plaintiff might try to show that Rotary failed to perform a background check on Mike Van Proyen. Yes. And Mike decided to have my sister holding Legina at a Rotarian meeting. Negligent selection for allowing for a Rotarian to Photoshop a photograph where he said that Susan Bowers was Marilyn Van Proyen. Yes. That the little girl wasn't Legina and they were sitting together at a Rotary meeting. You can tell abusive it is. Now, this could be sued on other grounds such as negligent selection for allowing Mike to volunteer at Rotary. Now, for all of you that do volunteer, I mean, do you pay membership fees and dues? Volunteers for Children Act was passed so that qualified entities, yes. Now, there could be quite a lawsuit here for all of those that were at that meeting that Mike photoshopped the picture of Susan Bowers into the picture and then photoshopped the little black girl there. I'm going to need to know all of those that were at that meeting, at that Rotarian newsletter. Pooch, you could all be liable for the trauma and the mental, well, actually, it's post-traumatic stress disorder that these children get. Yes, I was just reading this other document from the Department of Justice. National Child Protection 0338. Hang on just a second here. It could have been this one. No, it wasn't. Yeah. It was this direct one. Yeah. Now, this is very interesting because a lot of those that say, well, we were there on that day and we don't remember seeing Susan Bowers there. Do you remember seeing Marilyn there? I mean, was that an actual photograph of Marilyn? Because I'm going to ask Marilyn if she was at that Rotarian meeting. Yes. And if you didn't Photoshop her picture out of the picture, that makes you're making up fake meetings or you're having real meetings. Now, the Victims of Crime Act, the VOCA assistance program from all 50 states, yes. Some promising practices, yeah. Now, let me see here. Oops, I wanted to go to the table of contents, yes. There is law enforcement prosecution. Oh, victims' rights, yeah. These victims' rights of children, yes. To not say that they are someplace when they're not. Then there's the healthcare community, yes, the mental health community, the legal community, the educational community, the church community, the business community, and the news media community. For all of you that thought that I couldn't sue you for the knowledge that you have, you'd be wrong. Yes, yes, you would. All of those in each church, crime victim compensation. This is something we're going to talk about today. Restitution. Civil remedies. And then the child victims known as Legina Ann Van Proyen, that was at a Rotary meeting being held by a woman that was not a Rotarian. Yes, that was not her mother, surrounded by all the other volunteers in Rotary. Why don't you get me every person? No, I can't fucking